Dear students, in this video we will look for copy constructor in C++. When we discussed about constructors, I told you that in C++ we can have three types of constructors: default constructor, parameterized constructor and copy constructors. Then we discussed rest two constructors, default and parameterized constructor, but we didn't discuss copy constructor yet. So I decided to discuss about copy constructor. So just for revision purpose, constructors are the special functions which are made to initialize the object. So in this series, we have a third type of constructor in C++, that is known as copy constructor. So generally when we write the constructor do not permit us to pass object of class as an argument. You cannot pass inside the constructor its own object as argument, but the class own object can be passed as a reference parameter. You cannot pass the value, but you can pass the reference parameter. The constructor which permit you to pass object reference as a parameter are known as copy constructors. It creates a new object as a copy of existing object because you are passing the reference to object. So it means it will create a copy to the object. You know what reference variable do. So it will create a reference, it will create another name to the same variable. For the class which do not have a copy constructor defined by the user, if you do not define copy constructor, for every class, compiler itself creates a copy constructor. That is known as default copy constructor. So if you are not creating any copy constructor in your class, that's why until now you know that you are able to pass reference. So because compiler itself is creating a copy constructor, but as a programmer you also create your own copy constructor. So now we will see how we can write a copy constructor, what are the advantage of writing our own copy constructor, and what are the limitations with this copy constructor. So why argument to a copy constructor must be passed as a reference? I said that you can pass reference to an object inside the copy constructor as a parameter of copy constructor, but why it should be a reference? Why it cannot be a variable? Because a copy constructor is called when an object is passed by value. Copy constructor itself is a function, and if you are passing the value, not the reference, so it will again call a copy constructor. Then again it will call a copy constructor because you are passing only the value. So whenever, because you will write an object and you will write means object type or class name and then object. So again, because you are declaring another object there, so it means it will again call the copy constructor. It will again call the copy constructor, and this call will never end. So that's why we always create a reference. Reference means we are not creating a new object. We are simply creating a reference to another object. So when copy constructor is called, so when you call copy constructor, so there are four main cases in which we can call copy constructor. There may be other also. When an object of the class is returned by value. Whenever you return an object, many times you have seen that in many functions we are returning value of an object. So every time a copy constructor is called because that value will be copied to your object. When an object of class is passed to a function by value as an argument. So when you pass an object as an argument, then copy constructor calls itself. Because compiler has its own default copy constructor, that's why until now we didn't create copy constructor. When an object is constructed based on another object of same class. For example, you assign value of object to another object of the same class, then copy constructor will call. When the compiler generates a temporary object, whenever you generate a temporary object and you return that temporary object, so it means your copy constructor is called. When is user defined copy constructor is needed? Now you might think that we already have a default copy constructor, compiler already have a default copy constructor. Then why it is a need to create copy constructor inside the class? Because compiler is calling copy constructor itself. So there are few cases why when there is a need of user defined copy constructor. if you do not define your own copy constructor, then C++ simply creates a default copy constructor for each class, which does a member-wise copy between objects. So the compiler create copy constructor works fine in general, but we need to define our own copy constructor only if an object has pointer or runtime allocation. It is necessary to define our own copy constructor if you are doing a runtime allocation of the resource like file handling or a network connection. Why? Because when you are doing dynamic memory allocation and you do not have a copy constructor, so the compiler constructor will allocate one thing and there will be kind of copies of the same object, and once you delete that object, only one copy will be deleted. So it will be kind of memory wastage. So copy constructor versus assignment operator. See, copy constructor says that you can copy the value of one object to another object. This you may think that simply you can do this is assignment operator, like here in equation number 2, n1 is equal to n2. So which of the following two statements call copy constructor and which one calls assignment operator? So there are two statements. Let's say first one is we have a new class and we create two objects of this new class, n1 comma n2, and then I create another object of this new class n3, and then I say n3 is equal to n1, and in the next line I write n1 is equal to n2. So for equation number, for first part, copy constructor will call. For second one, assignment operator will call. How we know that where to where copy constructor will be called, where assignment operator? Copy constructor is called when a new object is created from an existing object. Whenever you create a new object from an existing operator, then copy constructor will be called. And assignment operator will be called when an already initialized object is assigned a new value from another object. So here n2 and n1 both are already initialized. So when I write n1 is equal to n2, it means assignment operator is called. But n3 is a new object I create, and at the same time I say n3 should be given the value of n1. So in equation in one, copy constructor is called. When should we write our own copy constructor? So this is the same question. So here I answered a little bit briefly. So here we will discuss it in detail, that when we should write our own copy constructor. So when we do not provide implementation of copy constructor, compiler tries to initialize object and already initialized object of the same class, then copy constructor calls and copies member of class by one in target object. The problem with default copy constructor is when we have members which dynamically get initialized at runtime. Whenever you are using new, whenever you are using pointer, whenever you are allocating or initializing object at runtime, then default copy constructor copies this member with address of dynamically allocated memory. Like for example, you have an already created member, and then default copy constructor will copy it with dynamically allocated object, not the real copy of this memory. Now both the object points to the same memory and change in one reflects in the other. This will be done, but when will be the problem? When we delete one of this object, the other object still be in the memory because other is not created dynamically. So which will be a dangling pointer. Dangling pointer means it will be a kind of wastage of memory. So whenever you are initializing your object dynamically at runtime, so you should write your own copy constructor. Hence in such cases, we should always write our own copy constructor. So now let's see through a small program that how to write our own copy constructor. So let's say I have a class and class name is simple ABC, and let's say this class has two private members, X and Y, and some public functions. So let's say one parametric constructor. So because it is a parametric constructor, it will have parameters, let's say X and Y, and let's say this X is equal to X, this Y is equal to Y, and then let's say we have one copy constructor. So how to write copy constructor? As we know that constructor with same name of class, and argument of copy constructor will be reference to an object of the same class. So let's say ampersand a. So it is the reference. So whenever you will create a new object, x of new object will always be whatever is the x of a. Y of new object will always be whatever y of a. Now let's say class has another function, that is just to display, just to print value of x and y. So let's say void get data. Let's say void get data and cout x is equal to x, go to the next line, y is equal to y, go to the next line. So this is our get data function. Now inside main, this is called copy constructor. Okay, so now inside main, let's declare an object, let's say abc, and then I assign parametric value, let's say 2, 5. And now let's say I declare another object abc, and I say my object name is a1. And when I say a1 is equal to a, at this point copy constructor is called. At this point copy constructor is called, and let's check a dot get data, and then a1 dot get data. And let's run it. So it should be 2 and 5 for both the objects. 2 and 5. So this is how you create copy constructor. Simply copy constructor take object as our reference of object as argument. So whenever you are working with reference of object, so like you are returning a value of an object through some function, many times we did this if you remember. So at that time default copy constructor, compiler's default copy constructor is, so here copy constructor is called and it will give you the same value. So this is how you can write your own copy constructor whenever you want. Okay, so we are going to I'm going to show you with the help of an example that we are saying that compiler has its default copy constructor. Then why and where when there is a need to write your own copy constructor. So let's check it when it is necessary or when it is compulsory to write our own copy constructor. So let's say we have a class and class name is ABC. This class has two private members. So let's say both are of type int. So one will be a dynamic member. Let's say one will be a pointer. We will allocate memory to this pointer dynamically, and another will be a simple variable y. Now let's say this class has public functions. So one is, let's say, parametric constructor. So this has two variables of type int x and y, but class member x is a dynamic member. So this, whenever we assign value to class x, it will be assigned through new. So this x will be new int and we will pass parameter x here. And y is quite simple. So this y is equal to y. So this is a parametric constructor. So here we took two members of the class. One will be a dynamic, for one member we are doing dynamic memory allocation, and other one is a simple member static allocation. So this is first function, parametric constructor. Now let's say we have a function just to set the value, and function is set data. And let's say this set data also take two parameters x and y. And in the same way, let's say x will be this x. So now because pointer has been assigned, so we write asterisk value of this x, it should be equal to x, and y, this y should be equal to y, because it has already been initialized through the this dynamic initialization has already done through the parametric constructor. That's why I have assigned only value. Now another function just to display the value, get data, and it will display the value cout. Let's say x is equal to, what should I write here? I should write here asterisk x because it is the value. Then go to the next line, then y is equal to y because y is not a dynamic allocation. Okay, so this is a simple class which does not have any copy constructor. This has one parametric constructor, one set function and one get function. Now let's declare object of the class. Let's say ABC, object name is ABC, and through parametric constructor, let's say I want to assign value 5, 2. Fine. Now let's say I declare another object ABC. I declare another object, let's say ABC1, and what I said here, ABC1 is equal to ABC. So we don't have copy constructor, we didn't declare copy constructor, but inbuilt copy constructor will be called here. Now if I write ABC dot get data, or if I say ABC1 dot get data, both should be equal because here we copied the value of ABC to ABC1. So let's run it now. So when we run it, so see, for ABC x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2. For ABC1 x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2. Now let's change the value. Let's say we change the value for this. Let's say I do it ABC dot set data and I write it 7, 2. So I change it for ABC, and then we are going to print it for ABC and ABC1 both. ABC dot get data. Similarly ABC1 dot get data. So I'm going to copy paste it here. Okay, so logically what we want, we want to change only value of ABC, and we are saying that logically because this copy constructor has been called before changing this value. So ABC1 should have 5 and 2 and ABC should have 7 and 2. So let's change this 2 also so that we can differentiate. So ABC should have 7 and 5 and ABC1 should have 5 and 2. But what happens when you run it? See, both have 7 and 5. ABC1, after changing ABC1 and ABC2, both have 7 and 5. Just a minute. Let me write here, it will be clear. After calling set data. Okay. So after calling set data, just both ABC and ABC1 will have same value, but logically it should not be there. We do not want to do that. See, both ABC1 and ABC have the same. See, for y value has not been changed, but for x, ABC1 and ABC both have same value for x, but logically it should not be. For ABC1 it should be 5 and 2. So what happens? Because x is a dynamic, for x we are doing dynamic memory allocation, so it means x is pointing to some pointer. So we are not changing the value, we are not declaring different variable. The pointer is pointing to the same variable, and every time through inbuilt copy constructor, every time we are working on the same memory location. So no matter if you are changing ABC or whatever, it will affect both in case of dynamic memory allocation. So whenever we are using dynamic memory allocation, we are declaring class members through new variable, new operator. we should create it is necessary to write own copy constructor. So let's write now copy constructor here, ABC, and this constructor will take reference of ABC as argument. So here it is a copy constructor. Now X will be new int, and what value will be this for this new int? We want to assign whatever value of X of A. So it will be value of X asterisk A dot X, and then Y is equal to simple A dot Y. So here now we define our copy constructor. X is equal to new int asterisk A dot X. So it will be assigning to this parameter X, because X is a pointer and we want to do dynamic allocation for X. So every time we have to use new whenever we are using this X. So and this will assign value of X, whatever is the value of X for A, it will assign to the new object, and Y is simple. So now here when we write this statement, now copy constructor will be called. Now user defined copy constructor will be called, and once it will call, it will create a new pointer. It will do a new memory allocation. So now whatever you write, it will be same. It will change only for ABC. See, for ABC it is 7, 5, but for ABC1 it is 5 and 2. So it means this is the main use of copy constructor. So whenever you are doing dynamic memory allocation, you should write your own copy constructor. So just have a quick revision. So this video is just about for why we need to write our own copy constructor if we have inbuilt copy constructor. See, until unless you are not doing that dynamic memory allocation for class members, there is no need to write your own copy constructor. Compiler will itself called inbuilt copy constructor. But if you are allocating class members dynamically, like here we did for X, then you should write your own copy constructor to avoid the change, reflecting the change in all the objects you declared through copy constructor if you are changing one object. Okay, if you write your own copy constructor, it will not be so. Thank you. So this is the main use of writing your copy constructor.